Hey, what's going on, everybody out there that might be watching this? Reggie Rhodes here, aka Trailblazer. I did an introduction video when I first kind of started this page to kind of explain what I had going on out here. You know, one thing I didn't really talk about was the benefits that it's brought me. Is that when I first started this project, I think I weighed about 220 pounds. It was 1st of April, kind of coming out of the winter months. And the truth of the matter is that I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't really like being in crowds of people. I don't really like being in town, stuck in traffic or stuck behind people at the grocery store or anything like that. Before I started doing this, I had a really bad habit of basically coming home, locking the door behind me, and I'd usually, you know, find me a snack, especially in the wintertime, find me a snack, get on the couch, play my video games, maybe watch, you know, whatever. And I think what I started to realize was that not only was my mental health, but also my physical health was just getting to the point where it was hard to get out of bed. I don't even feel like I enjoyed the weekends because I really was not being very productive. Kind of with all the, you know, not getting into the politics or anything like that, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on out there in the world. I think that kind of added to the anxiety that I had personally. And honestly, once I got out here and started working in the woods, once I kind of found something to keep me focused other than all the madness that's going on in the world, you know, my mental health really, I got to where I was excited to get out of bed in the morning. I was, you know, I felt like I was in a better mood at work. I felt like I would come out here and make some game plans, and then I would stick to it, and eventually, you know, I lost a whole bunch of weight. I've gotten to the point where I can't even hardly sit down on the couch for very long. This last video I did with my cooking area, it kind of started coming back to me because it rained so much. And I mean, it seemed like it rained every day for all day, sometimes hours at a time. I'd catch myself looking out the window just waiting for the rain to stop. So I think if there's anybody that's out there who has anxiety, who has this kind of introvert personality, you know, get out into nature. I think it's I think there's something about nature that kind of resonates deep in our soul, and there's something that vibrates. I know a lot of people talk about vibes. I think there's a lot of vibes being out in nature. And, you know, even if you just go take a hike, or you have a little picnic, or you go sit by a river, I think that is something that can really help people who were kind of in the same situation that I was in, where it just seemed like I didn't feel like I had anything better to do than to sit down on the couch and play my Xbox. Or I feel like this project, no matter what, and I said this in my first video, whether anybody's watching or not, I'm doing this kind of as a video blog, as kind of to keep track of everything I've done here, where I started, where I'm at now, and where it's going to be. I feel like if you've got some sort of high anxiety, or things like the world are kind of starting to bring you down, unplug for a couple of hours, get out into the woods, sit back and listen to the birds and watch the squirrels. You know, if I wouldn't have done it, I probably would be in a worse off place than I was when I started in April. And like I said, I was probably 220 pounds. I'm down to about 193 pounds now. And again, I look forward to getting out here every day and doing something. If I didn't have this outlet, I would be right back there on the couch. So find your outlet. And I'm not saying it's nature, it could be anything. But I know, at least from my personal experience over these last couple of months, And really, even as a kid, my buddy Eric and I spent a lot of time in the woods for whatever reason, for one reason or another. But I think that since I've been coming out here, a lot of the noise disappears, and you kind of come back to this reality that there's more going on, that we don't have to necessarily have a bunch of anxiety about. Get out into the woods, enjoy yourself, take a hike, camp out, you know, go fishing, just hang out by a river. Do whatever you have to do to unplug, because I feel like mental health and physical health are very important to our well-being, and I think it also helps us get ourselves up out of bed in the morning, to be happy about getting up out of bed and going and doing an adventure, you know, going and seeing something new that you haven't seen before. So there's that, and if you hung in for that, I appreciate you listening. Thank you.